In the previous video, we introduced the meta element, one of several elements that are to be nested under the head element. In this video, we repeat some of the introductory material about meta and then go on to explore it more fully. The meta element has the following syntax: meta with attributes. The start tag is required, an end tag is forbidden, and there is no content. No global attributes are of interest here, but at least one of the following non-global attributes must be coded. Charset, character encoding used by this document. HTTP equiv, one of 5 choices, and we only care about default style and refresh. Name, a standard or registered name. Content, the value to assign to HTTP equiv or name items. Very mysterious. Let's clarify. The charset attribute says specify an identifier of the character encoding used in this document. If I'm doing any international work, I have a fair number of Japanese connections, I specify Unicode this way: meta charset equals UTF-8. This allows me to mix character sets from all human languages. UTF-8 is the standard encoding for HTML5 documents. HTTP equiv is usually information carried in HTTP headers during transmission. Although there are 5 possibilities, we only care about 2, default style and refresh. If you specify default style, then you must also code a content attribute that names the title attribute in a style sheet link. For example, you might have meta HTTP equiv equals default style, content equals my styles. Then you must also have a link element, maybe like this one, link href equals spa styles.css, rel equals style sheet, title equal my styles. This will mean more and will be discussed again when we cover link and style sheets. If you specify refresh for HTTP equiv, then you must also code a content attribute that contains either a number indicating how many seconds until the page is refreshed, or a number followed by a semicolon and then a page name in quotes. Example, meta HTTP equiv equals refresh, content equals 5, says to refresh the current page in 5 seconds. If you specify a meta HTTP equiv equals refresh, content equals 6, semicolon, login.html, says in 6 seconds, jump to the page named login.html. This can be used to set up a slideshow. I built a little example. Here are 3 simple HTML files that I created. They're all very similar and they link together to form a slideshow. 1.html has HTTP equiv refresh, content 2 seconds, 2.html. So after 2 seconds, switch to the page 2.html. Also on 1.html, there's a paragraph, welcome to page 1. In 2.html, same structure, but here the HTTP equiv refresh points to 3.html and the paragraph, welcome to page 2. And finally, on 3.html, the meta says to refresh in 2 seconds, going back to 1.html, and its paragraph says, welcome to page 3. So now let's go over to the directory where they are. I'm going to double click 1 to kick it off in the browser. And here we go. And you know it doesn't take very long, so let's wait through a whole cycle. There's page 1 and page 2 and page 3 and back to page 1. It's been a bit of a slog. Let's get some perspective here, just so we can see how it all fits together. We start with an HTML element, which in turn has two child elements, a head element and a body element. The head element may contain a title element. It may also contain one or more meta elements, one to specify the character set used in the page body, possibly one to identify the primary style sheet, maybe one to specify refresh instructions. These elements under head may be coded in any order within the head. Finally, a meta element may have a name attribute, and if so, it must also have a content attribute. The value for name must be one of 5 standard choices. If the name attribute is application name, then the content attribute gives the name of the app. If the name attribute is author, then content contains the name of the author. You may have a separate meta element for each contributing author. If the name attribute is description, then content contains a description of the page. If the name attribute is generator, then the content attribute contains the name of the software used to generate the document. And if the name attribute is keywords, then content contains a comma-separated list of words that can be used by search engines. Here's some examples of meta elements with name attributes. Meta, name equal author, content equals Stephen H. Comstock. Or meta, name equal keywords, content equal HTML, comma, style sheet. Or meta, name equal keywords, content equal shoes, comma, clothes, comma, flowers. Here are the rules for meta element attributes summarized. There may be any number of meta elements within a head element. In a meta element, there may be exactly one of these attributes specified: name, HTTP equiv, or char set. If either name or HTTP equiv is specified, then content must also be specified. Content must not be specified if neither name nor HTTP equiv is specified. So the upshot of this is the possible combinations are just these: char set, HTTP equiv with default style or refresh, and content, or name with application name or author or description or generator or keywords, and then content. We end with a summary of this session, both this video and the previous video. An HTML5 document starts with a doc type statement. An HTML element bounds the entire document, only one HTML element per document. A head element is used to hold information about the document, and there may be only one head element per document. There may be 0 or 1 title elements nested within the head element, and there may be 0 or more meta elements nested within the head element. However, there may be only one meta element with any of these characteristics: the char set attribute, or the name attribute of type application name, or the name attribute of type description. In the next session, we'll begin exploring the actual body, the content of HTML documents. See you there.